Yo, yo, what's up, man? What the business is, YouTube? It's Clarence over here, Pursuit of Freedom. You hear the instrumental? I hope you can hear it. I believe that's what time it is. It's time to go hard out here. It's time to dig deeper. Being at the market is like been a real struggle lately. This here, once again, on another day, I ain't bringing you no trades. Um, because the market just ain't acting right. So I want to talk about the overall market, and I'm gonna cut you a little slice of some Bitcoin speak, that is, because we know that, well, those of us who've been around this market for a little bit, at least a year or two, if not the true pros, the true vets have been in 5, 10 years and more, right? But I think it do take like about a good 2 years of really dissecting and analyzing this market before you really beginning to get the gist. And I mean, just get the gist, beginning to get it, right? Not necessarily saying you're massively profitable. Hey, if I got mom and daddy that can hit me with some bar mitzvah money, if I can start out this thing like Stephen Dukes did with the 27K, that'll make my journey to having massive money growing in the market much easier. That's not the case. But I mean, that's another subject for another day. I'm looking at the Wilshire 5000. This is TC 2000. It's the trading software, the trading platform. But on that note, I'm gonna go ahead on and pull up my Yahoo Finance, and TradingView. I always like to look at things on TradingView, especially pertaining to Bitcoin, because CTC 2000, one of the downfalls is that I can't look at everything. TradingView is how you look at Bitcoin. And Bitcoin moves quickly. I love the fact that the first thing that pops up, trading Bitcoin in a parabolic curve, possible 30,000 top. Now, I'm not going to necessarily just believe that just because somebody's saying that they think that that's what's going to happen, but it very well could. Look at Bitcoin now. Our market's closed. The Asian markets have reopened. But see here, let me go and get to this chart right quick, because Bitcoin is extremely volatile. I've had to bite the bullet, which I'm going to talk about in a quick second, pertaining to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has hurt me. Well, not this actual Bitcoin, but a sympathy play related to Bitcoin has bit me the hardest. And I really got to be honest and say I bit myself, uh, as I mean, my software really just has been, my computer really been moving slow. Like I got too much going on this thing or something. I don't know. Something ain't right. I'm not liking my computer lately. Everything ain't acting right. But you see, Bitcoin shot up all the way up there to about 13.8, 13.9, during there $1,400, and then it pulled back $2,000 off the highs during there. 13.8, 13.9, pulled back to 12.9. So okay, only pulled back $1,000. But 1,000, 1,500, somewhere in there, $1,000, right? It pulled back just like that. Big, nice spiking green candle. Bitcoin can come down just as fast as it climbs. I mean, and the last time it crossed above 10, it had this same type of movement. Last time it hit 10, because 10,000 was really the talk. This thing went from 10 to 20 in just a matter of a few days. So me, I'm almost expecting that same type of movement, especially with the markets being in a real stall out type phase, right? So back to TC 2000, I'm looking at the Wilshire 5000. I love the Wilshire because it's the total market index. This is probably the only real index I would want to look at. I don't like to just look at the Dow because it's just 30 companies. You know what I'm saying? And this is the best 30 companies. These are the big dogs, right? But I want to see what every company is doing. I mean, they're pretty much mimic. They looking pretty much the same. They all kind of tend to tread the same way, right? But what I want to point out is I'm gonna scroll back in time just a little bit. See, from 2016, this dip down here. I mean, we had another dip later on in 2016, but this thing has been just pretty much a run, a straight run from 2016 to earlier on in 2018, 59% growth, $11,000 in the Wilshire, right? Um, and I may need to use the S&P, at least go to a weekly chart to show you what I'm getting at. See, we have these periods. You know what I mean? This is only going back to 2010 at the max. But we have these periods after a dip, you get a steep climb, and then it kind of struggles to get to a new high. Let's go ahead and zoom into that area, right? So you get this steep climb, you got some dipping off, you get a steep climb, you get to a high, big pullback worth 8, 7, 8%. Then the market pushes higher. It gets above that high barely, right? And then it pulls back strong, another 7, 8%. It gets at close to that high. This is a head and shoulders pattern right here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, big fall off. 14%, double what the last pullback was. We get my favorite candle to look for at the bottom of bearish trends, and then you get a climb higher, 12%. I love this candle. I mean, you kind of got one right there too, but it's not the one that I like to favor. It don't necessarily have to be a green one, but I like the green one, not necessarily the red one. The red one might be still some bearish momentum, but I see another one right here. That's a red one, and then you get a bullish day. You got a green one right here, and you get some bearish days, and then a gap higher. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's no guarantees, but I love it when I see them, right? And then the market comes back and plays with these same levels again. Didn't really get ahead of them. The market came back down some. It did get above barely though, and then it pulled back, right? And I can do this time and time again. After that, you get a steep climb going. I mean, from 2013, you get a 4 years run, 30%. 2014 to 2015, you get 10%. Total market got 10%. Getting into 2016, we ran into a little bit of trouble. To end 2015, you get this period where you got these dips. And then it surges a little bit higher. Big dip off, comes back, is trying to get to this point again. You got a left shoulder, a rounding top head. You know what I'm saying? You got a right shoulder over here, didn't get back to these highs, and then you get a big fall off, 14%. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're just getting some choppiness. I'll come back and delete those two. I see another one right here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Uh, Hammer candle, pin bar candle, doji, hangman. They got all sorts of names for them. And you see them when you catch them at the bottom of the trend, man. You could be looking for a little bit of a higher push. But this is the overall market. I don't want to talk all day, but you kind of can see what I'm getting at. Because look at what we got going on today. We get a surge off of this here bottom in 2016, and it runs for almost a full 2 years. We're at a peak right now. We're at a top. You know what I'm saying? So the market, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Now, I like looking at the Wilshire 5,000 companies because the high still for 5,000 companies, we ain't really touched this absolute high in the Wilshire. This index they do not talk about on CNBC. They don't want to tell you what the whole market is doing. They do like to tell you what a good general number is doing, 500, but I would much rather look at 5,000 companies because this is once again Standards and Poor's. This is a hand selected 500 companies. That's not telling you what the overall economy is doing. Still, I mean, it's a little deceiving in that. But the trend ain't quite that much better. It's barely setting a new high. We set a new high here, a little bit better than the high that was set back in September, October 2018. We barely got above that the 3rd of May. Then we barely got above that again the 21st of June. And each time we set a new high, barely, we get a pullback. Pullback of 6% there, pullback of a little bit here. Let me go back to the daily. You know what I'm saying? So stretching the chart out from the weekly chart to the daily chart. Looking at the time frame now, looking at single days. You see, I got my doji, my pin bar looking tight candle of indecision at the bottom, climb higher, right? I think we pulled back 6-7% off the highs the last time we started the downward trend. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 straight days of the S&P pulling back, and that's about the same thing with the Wilshire. Wilshire got those candles too. You see, you got a reverse of this type of candle showing you that the trend is finna come down. You know what I'm saying? But looking at these total index telling you what the whole market is doing, the whole market is choppy. I think about this here time is when the tariff things began. You know what I'm saying? Trump and this here tariff shit bull got the market sideways. The market don't know what it want to do. I mean, they'll be on TV all day long, giving you the misskewed, giving you the women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. That's straight out of Yo Gotti right there. You know what I'm saying? But it was true before Yo Gotti put it into a song. Numbers don't lie, but numbers can be easily manipulated. Easily manipulated. See, they tell us that the unemployment rate is we got more people employed today than we ever have, but there's so much not being taken into account. Like over the next 20 years, we're going to be in a retirement bubble. We got more people because the wealthiest generation of our time, the baby boomer generation, you know what I'm saying, an extremely large generation, they're going to start pulling money from, guess what? This total market. And they're going to pull money for 20 solid years. 20 solid years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might get a little long-winded in this video because I do just want to kind of talk about the market, and I want to go ahead and talk about the next up, which I think the next up for at least a short time period is Bitcoin. Like I watched in a YouTube video, an analyst was saying that you start to get things like Bitcoin popping up when you're at the end of a financial cycle. It's saying that he was saying that Bitcoin is the type of investment that picks at the carcass of our financial system. You know what I'm saying? Like he's saying, it's time for a new financial something, and that makes sense to me. It absolutely makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? The central banks have owned money, have had power, have owned our financial system for far too long. Predominantly, there's been one family that has funded both sides of every war for 500 years or more. And I'm not going to say too many names about this and that. I don't want my channel to get shut down before it gets started. But just taking a look at this thing, man, you can see what's going on. Okay, so let me go ahead on and do a flip. The number 3 stock on my list out of 2,298 is First Bitcoin Capital Core. So when I seen that, I went on ahead and I pulled back up my Bitcoin sympathy plays, and I shrunk the list down to the stocks that are playing right now, that are moving right now, along with Bitcoin. See, because you don't necessarily have to go and buy Bitcoin, but if you was to really want to capture the movement of Bitcoin, you might want to buy Bitcoin, but you don't have to. I just would say be careful. Always realize that this is your capital, this is your baby. So if you put money out there at risk, don't do like I did and tie it up in this here BTSC. Like I bought this thing way up here, darn near at 60 cents. It got up to 64. I had a nice gain, but I could not sell. I thought this thing was gonna run to $1. I mean, it was on a tad. Let me go to Trade King. Matter of fact, now BTSC is back in the top. So I'm gonna just click on that for a second. And this is the worst trade. This is the biggest mistake that I've made in the market so far. I'm not perfect. No trader is perfect. Most of the traders that I follow got losses that crush this loss with ease. They lose this kind of money that I lost in this trade. They lose that on a day. You know what I'm saying? Daily basis. Some of them. Um, but this stock had been climbing for days and days to the tune of a massive percentage, and I was in at right about 60. The problem was is that I had got in at about 40 and rolled it up to about 60, and then I took a profit, had a nice profit, but my funds hadn't settled yet. And because I believed, there go a word that's attached to an emotion. I believed in this company because it was backed by Bitcoin, and look at the type of movement that Bitcoin can have. Look at the type of movement Bitcoin had. So I easily see this going to retest 17, 20 and go beyond that, especially with the global markets struggling. And I don't know where this Microsoft games come from, but I don't care nothing about Microsoft games, right? So now that the Asian markets are back open, Bitcoin is looking to want to push higher, but the sympathy plays don't quite move like Bitcoin. They kind of want to mimic the Bitcoin type movement, but look at this thing. See, because Bitcoin is right now right back at its highs. This stock here is down in the depths, in the dumps still. It's only 5 cents now. The high is way up here at 64 cents. This thing is not going to just shoot straight back to set a new high the way that Bitcoin is looking to be doing a few thousand away from setting a new high. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that's going. You got BTSC had the same type thing. They did a split actually. But if you come back and look at 2014 was when they had their high up at $5. Uh, it's another one. In 2018, they surged all the way up to $2. This is the first Bitcoin Capital Corporation. They surged all the way to $2 on the Bitcoin run, and they've since almost lost uh, almost 90%. Almost 90% of that capital had evaporated before this next run had started. Now, Longfin was another one. I think Longfin Core for LLFIN. I think they was trying to jump on the blockchain bandwagon back when a bunch of stocks was doing that. Okay, never mind. That's not the right one. Yeah, that's what I typed in. Maybe it come up like that, but somehow Yahoo Finance knew what I was really looking for. All right, so it was something like that. It was long something. They had changed their name, Long Blockchain, whatever it was, over the counter punch, a $1 billion short squeeze. Okay, that was last year. Violation skill, independence finance. All right, just trying to figure out if this was the company or not. But there was a company that was Long Fin or Long Island Iced Tea blockchain, some crap like that. Everybody was jumping on the blockchain bandwagon because the blockchain is um, truthfully the product of Bitcoin. MGTI, this is another one. I forgot exactly what it was. I haven't done the reading up but I remember having this one on a humongous blockchain list that I had. Riot blockchain is the other one. There was a Hive blockchain at one time too. There was a company called Hive Blockchain. Enphase is pissing me off right now. I got back in phase expecting this thing to run, and it's looking like I'm about to get ready to sell. I'm gonna see if it'll give me another green day. I just don't like to play with stocks. I can't do them. Can't do it. It made me feel like I should have got in way cheaper. Uh, so I may have to get out of in phase. Let me get back to trade king. Riot blockchain was another one. Bitcoin started its tear. Riot started a tear. It's up 40 something percent. You know what I'm saying? Was that it? Harvest? No, it was another one that was like high blockchain. Uh, I will search through and see if I can find it. It's Hive. No, Hive Networks Communication. Got a long descending resistance here. Support level. If this holds, this could have been a good buy or support down here before this gap up. Gappers right now, I will leave completely alone. Marathon Platinum Group, and this is just kind of me rambling for a day. I even think that this single point was seen was related to blockchain to some degree somewhere. Let me see. Uh, See, this stuff takes time, man. It takes time, especially when your computer ain't acting right. Let me see. Computer is not acting right. The computer is moving really slow. Software English single point is in the payments. Oh no, this ancillary cannabis services and blockchain solutions in the United States. See, everybody jumped on the blockchain immediately when the technology was released. So single point, because this I remember seeing being another one that I had. I mean, I had a watch list. I had a 12 screens. I mean, the screens were so tiny because there were so many different companies that jumped on the blockchain bandwagon. So I'm at 22 minutes. This is a very long episode for today. And this right here, this Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, they've changed their name and their ticker symbol. Well, no, maybe not the ticker symbol, but they changed the name a few times. This right here may be one of the rawest plays in Bitcoin, and I do like it honestly because it's slightly higher priced. Um, it's much easier to get into a bigger range, a higher price range, and solidify some gains. It might be a little less, may not be not quite as quick as some of these gains that you'll get. I mean, look at this first Bitcoin Capital Core. I mean, you could have been looking at 200% profit in 5 days, and that one there alone. Uh, but yeah, so you got seen got in the blockchain spectrum. You know what I mean? Had a spike over the course of 9 days. You know, you could be up 100% or 60 something percent. And I'm thinking a lot of these companies, anybody in the blockchain spectrum right now, is going to be on the move just because Bitcoin is on the move. I'll look at the trades this week because I haven't done many. I mean, it just really ain't nothing looking good to me. Four trades, I'm 3 out of 4. That's 75% accuracy on the week. That's just saying I'm picking the right stocks and clicking buy and sell at the right time. Because India Global, which is a marijuana company, um, had a massive run, and then they collapsed all the way back down to the depths. And this is what weed stocks like to do. So I will not buy and hold any of these weed companies. Those are trades because they quickly turn into fades after their big run, just like right now. IGC ran up for a minute, 75%. You know what I mean? You could have got more than 75% in a few days, 5 days, and then this thing had a massive collapse, 28% down. You know what I'm talking about? So they run up for a minute, but you can't hold them too long because they sell off. I mean, and I got a whole watch list. I got a whole cannabis watch list here. Look at some of these here, but look at this here. This here, in fact, that's got to come off the list. I need a solid chart. I need a solid daily chart, or you got to come off the list. Um, and these are various different stocks. All of these are in the weed sector. Harvest One Cannabis, you know what I mean? I just be digging them out. Uh, TK Offshore Partners, that's industrial shipping and ports. I may have to take that, might be on the wrong list. Grow Green, anything that could be related um, in the weed sector, I put into this list. I mean, so I just got tickers on top of tickers on this here list because sometimes one sector will be moving. Kush bottles. This might be the wrong one in here. That happens sometimes. Sugar Made. I've made some money in Sugar Made, lost some money in Sugar Made. Supreme Cannabis Company. I be digging papers, trying to find this here stuff. You don't find gold if you ain't looking for it. That's another one. Speaking of gold, metals. Look at what metals are doing. Northern Dynasty Minerals, big jump. Aqua Metals, this was a lower price play, so I don't have to move too far for that to be really looking like it's going to climb. I've got copper in this list, any of these metals, AKG, you know what I mean? 20 something percent in a matter of just a few days. Silver's on the run. Eldorado Corporation on the run. Gold has been moving higher. To me, that's a little nerve wracking. That's telling me that a fall is coming because gold usually moves. It's supposed to move inverse to what the market is doing. If the market is going down, gold is coming up. That's what it's supposed to be doing. But like I said, numbers can be manipulated because the Fed are hold short positions like they hold in the VIX, and our Fed chair said that the Fed, one of the largest banks in the planet, they hold a short position in the VIX. And let me look at the T-VIX. The VIX just didn't want to come up right. They hold a short position in the VIX, so that's manipulating what this is supposed to do. When the market is going down, the VIX is supposed to be going up. The VIX should be, at like $100 right now. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to keep, and then this thing splits. It likes to split when it gets too low, but it's always gonna split. Uh, just cause it can't get too far away. So I mean, I would play it, but I would play it short term. A lot of these movements are short lived. So I just wanted to come on here and just ramble and rant a little bit about the market. It's another gold. Do I have that in my gold list? Oh yeah, that just says the gold list that I'm looking at. Yeah, I mean that's another one. I mean, gold is on a tear right now. You can just drop some money in gold. I wouldn't leave it there forever. But you know what I mean, lock in some gains. Look at this here run up on gold back in 2016. We see when the market was beginning to head down, gold should be always on the climb when the market's heading down. I was looking to buy some nuggets and some nug. I mean, where's the other one? NGD, new gold. Where's nugget? I got so many of them on this list. Gold Venture, Nug, J Nug, and Nug. They even on this list? Nope. Gotta add J Nug. Gold Miners, Direction Bull, and Nug. There's another one, just NUG. NUGL. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, is it Nuggets or something like that? So many tickets, too many tickets to be trying to remember. I remember a lot of them though, because I be looking. I be looking. So when the market's getting choppy, I got to dig even deeper. So much in this gold. All right, I'm gonna go back to my favorites. Uh, uh, uh. But yeah, I've been yapping for too long. Yapping for too long. Some market, just taking a look at the market. What's this? That single point. And here we go, Bitcoin again. Now, see how fast Bitcoin moved. This thing was at like 13,400 or something like that. One of the last times I seen it, 13,300. Now it's back down to 12, just like that. See, because when Bitcoin starts selling, it can steep back off just as fast. It can give way them gains just as fast as you grow them. So I mean, I'm cautious with Bitcoin. It's so many stocks out here to play. I can play something else. I may take a stab at it, but I feel like with me, I'm always too late. I was too late when I locked myself in. Blockchain, a Bitcoin's on chain, off chain. Valuation indicators the key point. Focuses heads at 13,000. It's already broke above 13,000, and this thing is going negative. So I mean, I'm cautious with Bitcoin. Bitcoin already punched me in the mouth, so I'm cautious with Bitcoin. 30 minutes in, I'm gonna go ahead on and call it quits. If you find any of this information informative, give me the like button, give me the thumbs up. If not, because this was a rambling type day, I can't trade today. I can't trade right now just because I don't like what the market is doing. One thing I want to point out too, though, see, when the market opened today, I had about 7 stocks that was up 20% or more. Now, when I opened my eyes this evening, uh, now I finally got the entire top of my watch list, of my master list. I got 21 stocks that are up 20% or more. This is what the market is supposed to look like at 9:30, not when I wake up in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? At 9:30, I'm used to seeing it like this. Everything 20% or better. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of stocks up, but you get a lot of these pennies in here too. That I'm trying to squeeze some of them out just because right now it ain't their time. Then I'm gonna come down and find 10% because I like to think about a percentage. Because 21 stocks out of 2,200 is about roughly 1%. So when I get to 10%, I'm gonna see if you know what I mean. If that's 40, if that's at least 40 or more, and up 10% or better. Okay, so that's 60. That's getting close to just 3% of the overall market. At least a little small piece of the market that I brought to myself is up. 3% is up 10% or better. 3% of the market is up 10% or better. So that's some strengthening type sign, but most likely maybe not. I wouldn't be willing to bet on that. I wouldn't be willing to bet on that because right now I really think the market is going to turn around and be on a downward trend for a little bit, just like we already started. This level right here may hold that support for the Wilshire. I would say about this here 29 period might hold that support for the S&P, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not into the game of predicting. Trading stocks is the game of reacting, anticipating a little bit, but reacting to what the market does. Because you can't predict what the market's going to do. If you get into any position, you react to what the stock or the investment, you react to what it does, or you just continue to buy for the long haul. That's up to you. You know what I'm saying? Once again, if you find any of this information informative, I know I've been ranting for a little bit, but that's what's on my mind today and related to this here market. You know what I mean? There's always some opportunities out here, but I'm being cautious just because I've seen this before. I mean, this market has showed me this. I mean, anytime we get close to the highs, this thing is turned around too many times. When we get close to a new high, set a new high, it turns right back around. So I'm gonna let this here dip happen again, and I try to trade the bounce off the dip. If we get a good bounce, give me the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. This is Pursuit of Freedom.